It happened, folks. It finally happened. Tua Tagovailoa has been officially extended by the Miami Dolphins. It was agreed to early Friday afternoon. Ian Rappaport and Mike Garafolo had the initial report. It is a 4-year, $212.4 million contract, and it is finally done. No more drama after not participating in full activities in mandatory minicamp. First day of training camp being not in on 11-on-11s, but being there for participation in only single drills. And then on Thursday, not participating in any type of practice. He was a full participant on Friday's training camp practice. People were kind of like, is an extension coming? He was a full participant, and then it officially gets announced. So it is very exciting to see that he is now the newest, or I guess richest owner in history in terms of contract. It's the biggest contract that's ever been given out in Miami Dolphins history. Here are the exact numbers on the Tua contract. 4 years, $212.4 million, comes out to $53.1 million on an annual average basis, and he was given $167 million in guaranteed money. I think this is a very fair deal. It is right in between the new contracts that were given out to Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence. I think that's fair. I think he could have got the same as Trevor Lawrence, if we're going to be honest, but ultimately he does not. Adam Schefter having the note that the newest highest paid quarterbacks on an annual average basis is as follows. Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence are tied for $55 million. Tua is now number 3 at $53.1, just edging out Jared Goff by $100,000 per year. Herbert at $52.5, Lamar Jackson at $52. And we've often talked about what Tua has been deserving to get in the extension market and how he compares to Jared Goff and Trevor Lawrence. And I think Trevor Lawrence and Tua are on the same tier. I think Jared Goff and Tua are on the same tier. But Tua being a little bit younger than Jared Goff maybe gives him a leg up, and he ultimately gets there as the slotted third quarterback. Now, I did want to share this because I actually did my own Tua contract projection that I showcased throughout the past month and a half or so on what I think he could have gotten or deserved to get. And I projected 4 years, $220 for $180 million guaranteed, and that came in at $55 million per year. But as we go back to what the actual contract is, he got less on all three numbers at least. About $7.6 million less than I thought he was going to get, which saved the Dolphins about $2 million per year than I thought. And he got 13 less guaranteed in from the Dolphins as well. So to me, I think this Dolphins deal is really good for Tua. I think it's really good for Miami. It doesn't break the bank, but it does give Tua his deserved money. And I know some people are going to say it's not deserved, but it is, and there just simply was not a better option out there for Miami in the quarterback market this year or beyond. So to me, it was a good idea to get Tua extended, and now you can focus on the rest of training camp in getting this offense humming, in sync, in harmony, if you will, and get it synchronized, ready to roll. And this is why you subscribe to the channel, because we will have you covered on all Miami Dolphins news. Hit that sub button. We will make sure you're covered on everything you need surrounding the Fins. All right, let's look at Tua now, because he is entering the third year under Mike McDaniel in the Miami Dolphins system. And through the first 2 years, it's been pretty good, right? In 2022, he was solid when he was on the field, but battled injuries. And that was one of the biggest concerns for Dolphins fans. They didn't want to give Tua a big-time contract because he's never been able to stay fully healthy outside of last season. But in 2023, played all 17 games, completed 69% of his passes, led the entire NFL in passing yards while having a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. Would have liked that number to be a little bit higher for sure in terms of the touchdowns and the interceptions going a little bit lower. But I think Tua showcased that he is a perfect quarterback for this Mike McDaniel offense. And to me, when you're entering year 3, that is when you take that next step. The first year is you're getting acclimated, you're getting used to the system, and you're just trying to get new to the verbiage, lingo, blah, blah, blah. And then year 2 is like, okay, I'm starting to get a hang of this, and we saw Tua kind of take that next little step. Year 3 is when you have complete control. This happens in all forms of life, whether it be in basketball, baseball, NFL, your day-to-day life. When you get to that 3rd year, that is when you have now been acclimated. You get the full control, and that's when you're able to take that next step forward and really get things humming. We're going to talk more on Tua and how this impacts the Dolphins going forward here in just a second. But now that Tua is extended, you can go watch him play this upcoming summer and fall with Game Time, the best ticketing app on the market. It's the only way that I get tickets because they have so many different features that just allow you to get the best deal. They have the lowest price guaranteed, and if you find a ticket on a different site that is cheaper than theirs in the same row, same seat, they will credit you 110% of the difference. They also allow you to see exactly where you're sitting wherever you are. Whether it's a comedy show, a concert, a sporting event, they will show you your exact vantage point from your seat. And I love their all-in pricing as well, which you might ask, what is that? It means they tell you how much the ticket's going to cost at the end, and you're not blindsided by fees when you're at checkout. No, you actually know how much it will cost you when you're viewing the absolute seat. And we can get you $20 off your first purchase right now when you download the Game Time app, create an account, use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, but again, create an account, redeem that code, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. The link will be in the description and comments of today's show. Or you can just go to your app store and hit that little black box with the white G and then create that account. Let's continue talking about Tua here because a lot will be made of what he is getting paid now. And when you get paid like this, expectations start to mount and they start to rise. They were already high expectations for this team because of how good their roster is. But now that you are officially a $50 million quarterback, you are now expected to win those big games, win on the road, and show up in the big moments. And I did want to show what his contract is in comparison to the other 2 contract extensions that have come across the NFL offseason so far in the form of Trevor Lawrence and Jared Goff. We've talked about Goff and Tua quite a bit. Jared Goff is making slightly less money than Tua. Now, something to be interested here, I will say this, is that even though Tua is making $100,000 more per year on the annual average basis and $400,000 in total, Jared Goff does have $3 more million guaranteed in his contract over the same length. Now, he did not come even close to Trevor Lawrence, who got 5 years for $275, $200 million guaranteed, and $55 million on an annual average basis, which is a little bit surprising to me because I thought Tua deserved the same thing as Trevor Lawrence because even though T-Law might be someone who is projected as a better quarterback due to his increased height, the arm strength, and his college stature and the number 1 overall pick that comes with that, I think Tua has been as good as Trevor Lawrence in the NFL, if not better, and I think Tua is a better QB overall. I do. I think Tua's a top 10 guy. Trevor Lawrence is in that 14 to 15 range. So I think this is a good deal for Miami, man. I really, really do. I think they get him at a pretty normal price. I'll be intrigued to see what Jordan Love gets from Green Bay. It kind of feels like that contract is going to happen relatively soon. I'll be curious to see if Love tops Tua or comes in just about the same or a little bit lower because once again, if you compare Tua and Jordan Love, I think Tua's had more success in the NFL. I get it. Better head coach in terms of offensive mind, better weapons with Waddle and Tyreek, but Tua's been very productive in his early career, and now that we don't have to worry about his future with the team, and he can play this 5th-year option that he has right now, knowing he's got 4 more years in the bank, this is very, very good. And before we do actually close out of the show, I did want to mention one other thing that this could help with Miami. We talked about 2 players that are key for this Dolphins' future, Tua Tagovailoa and safety Javon Holland. Well, if you did not extend one of them prior to this season and you go into the next offseason with both of them not under contract, if you were forced to use the franchise tag on one of them, that means the other player was going to hit NFL free agency. But now that Tua is officially extended, you could, if you need to, use the franchise tag on Javon Holland. I want to keep Javon Holland here long term. I think that's absolutely necessary. He's your only young building block in that secondary, even if you include corners. But either way, now you have the flexibility to either extend Holland or franchise tag him next offseason. All right, before we hop out of here on today's show, grade the Tua extension for me down in the comment section, A, B, C, D, or F, after seeing the full breakdown, the numbers, how it stacks up with the rest of the league, and the flexibility it allows the Dolphins going on in the future. Grade it for me down below. Also, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Nic_Rohloff, because you would have found out about the news first if you follow me on Twitter. I'd send out a tweet as the news came in with the 4-year, $212.4 million deal, and then we come over here and make a video. So another reason why you should follow me, and make sure you're subscribed.